Okay, remember when you do the composition of functions, you're going to take what's back here and then insert it into whatever's in the front. So you almost work backwards. So you're going to take your function g of x, which is 1 over x, and we're going to put it in f of x wherever you see the x. So I'm going to substitute that in right there. So this looks like this, 3 over 1 minus 4, 1 over x. Okay, my guess is it doesn't want you to leave it in that form, so to get it so it doesn't look like that, you're going to multiply everything by the common denominator. So since my denominator is x, I'm going to multiply every single term by x. So, because remember, x over x is 1, and you can multiply anything by 1. So I'm going to multiply this guy by x, this guy by x, and this guy by x. Okay, and if you want to think about that, it's like x over 1. So you get 3x all over, x times 1 is x, minus, and these x's cancel, 4. Okay, so that would be your answer right there. Now, I didn't look ahead to see if it asked the domain, but because this is what your function originally looks like, and you can't have 0 in the denominator, for your domain, x can't be 0. Notice here, x also cannot be 4. So on your domain, it's everything but 0 and 4. So if it asks you that, you're going to go negative infinity to 0, and then union 0 to 4, union 4 to infinity. Because remember, this is how you write everything but, because this is coming up everything really, really close to 0, but not including 0. And then you can pick up right after 0, like 0.000002. Okay, just not 0. And the same thing goes for the 4. Okay, then I'm going to assume that it's going to ask you g of f of x on the next part of the problem. So again, this is the same thing. You're going to start back here. You're going to take function f of x, and you're going to plug it into function g. So I'm going to take all of this and substitute it in right there. So it's going to be 1 over, and then we're going to put in this entire function, 3 over 1 minus 4x. Okay, now that looks weird, but remember the way this is saying 1 divided by 3 over 1 minus 4x. Okay, that's what that line means. How do you divide fractions? You multiply by the reciprocal, so just flip it over. So that is actually your answer for this one. Well, if you have to think about your domain, again, you have an x down here in the denominator, so you'd have to think what makes that 0? What makes 1 minus 4x equal to 0? Well, if you solve that, you get 4x equals 1. You get x equals 1/4. So x could not be 1/4. So your domain would be everything but 1/4. So it would look like this. And then that should do it.